The village had no electricity. How long did the father, the mother and সেটা and ADN টা যোগ ଅଛି and their daughter stay in the village? How long? For a week. What is the only light they had in the village? A kerosene lantern. 5 number. What did the daughter see moving around the lantern? Option C. A lot of insects and some grasshoppers. ସେଠି ଅଛି insect ବି ଅଛି, grasshopper ବି ଅଛି, flying insect ବି ଅଛି. ଏଠି ଟିକେ confuse option, ତେଣୁ ତାକୁ ସବୁଗୁଡ଼ା ସେଠି ଥିଲା. What did the daughter see one day inside the room jumping up and down? A grasshopper, cockroach, an insect. Option B, cockroach. Why did she call it a househopper? से कहीं क्या को गोटे हाउसहॉपर बोली कहला, कहीं कहला? As it hops in the house. 8 number. Where was the lantern placed? In the veranda. Where did the old couple live? In Bangalore. How was the weather? A bit windy and foggy. What was written on the shutter? Option A, B, C, D. To let, toilet, shop, fish shop. To let ଲେଖା ଥିଲା to let, ପରେ ସେ ପିଲାମାନେ ଯାଇକି ସେଟା I put କରିଥିଲେ. Next. What did the clever boy insert between to and let? I. They insert I and making the to let toilet. The girl does not say good morning to dash. Heels. The girl does not say good morning a river. The girl is happy. In the poem good morning is used how many times? 5 times. The girl says good morning to the nature nahi, hill, river, moon, sky. In the poem I am is used how many times? 2 times. How are the bees? Brownie spelling mane ଅଛି ସବୁ କଣ କଣ? BROWNIE. Who is the poet of this poem? Robert Brown, William Wordsworth, Fanny Buchanan, John Keats. Option C. Whom does the girl ask questions? To birds, to trees and the creeping grass, to the brownie beach, all of these. The next. What is her first question? How are you? How is the weather? How did you find out it was a day? Was it a day? C. What was the second question? Who told you night had gone away? Had the night gone away? Do you know it to be day? Are you happy? Who told you night had gone away? Then morning in spring. What time of a year is the best time? Spring time is the best time. So spring is called the king of all season. Spring को ऋतुमान का राजा बोली कहा जाए. When is the lark worth watching? When it is on the wing, when it flies, when it sits on the tree, when it rests on the ground. Option A. When it is on the wing. Third question. Which time of the day is the best time? Morning time. Which time of the morning is the best time?
7 o'clock.
Option C is 7 o'clock is the best time. When the hillside is worth watching?
The evening.
When it is dew filled. Option D.
When it is due,
से जो भोर बेला जेतेबेले पड़े कौन काकर बिंदु मुक्ता परी देखा जाउथबो. Next, when the snail is worth watching? When it is on the thorn, when it is inside the pond, when it is outside the pond, when it crawls. Option A, when it is on the thorn. The frog and the crow. ए चैप्टर टा समस्तकर मन अछि हैला. सेतरे किए गर्वी थिला? फ्रॉग गर्वी थिला एवं किए चालाक थिला? क्रो चालाक थिला. तो ए स्टोरी रे किए किए अछंती मुख्यतः? Who are there in the story? Frog and the crow. आउ फिश आउ एनिमल माने तांको कथा कुआ हेछि किंतु से माने किछि कहिथिबार स्टोरी रे हमें किछि सुनिनु. So start. The frog lived in a pond. The frog was big and proud. Where did the frog live in summer? In summer, the frog lived inside the water, and in winter, the frog lived outside the water. It means on the land. Kout rohthila? On the land. In water, the frog felt sad for fishes, and on land, the frog felt sad for animals. Very good. Thus, the frog spent most of his time thinking about fishes, thinking about animals, thinking about himself, thinking about God, thinking about himself, and he sings croak, croak, croak. What did the frog can do? Swim, jump, walk, all of these. All of these. The frog went on croaking, open his eyes, closing his eyes, thinking about himself, thinking about fishes. Closing his eyes. Option B. When the frog opened his eyes, he saw a crow far off, a crow close by, a crow looking at him, a crow in a sad mood. A crow close by. माने जेतले सी आखी खुलिला सेतले देखिला जे गोटे कुआ ता पाखरे आसीकी बसी जायछि ता माने ता पाखको पळे आछि. A crow saw the frog when the frog was काउटी बेंग को देखिला केतेबेले देखिला जेतेबेले बेंगटी आखी बंद करिकी गीत गाउथिला माने सिंगिंग ए सॉन्ग क्लोजिंग हिज आईज. The crow in the story is काउटी ए स्टोरी रे कोन थिला? क्लेवर थिला. तो ऑप्शन सी इज करेक्ट. What a crow can do? The crow can fly. Very good. What did the crow catch and flew away? The leg of the frog, the back of the frog, the neck of the frog, the head of the frog.
the neck of the frog.
The neck of the frog. Neck माने back. Why did the frog feel sorry for the crow? As it could not jump, as it could not live in water, as it could not croak, all of this. All of this. से ता पई काहे की दुख करदला कारण से एई सब करि पार नथिला सेति पई से दुख करला बेंग. What happened to the voice of the frog? Frog day by day. What happened to the voice of the frog day by day? It became more rose, it became more sweet, it became sorrowful, it became melodious. माने दिन को दिन काकर स्वर कोन हे जाउथला से निजे सॉरी काक ना बेंग बेंगर स्वर केमती जाउथला से निजु को निजे भाबुथला जे मोर स्वरटा दिन को दिन कोन हे जाउथला बहुत मधुर हे जाउची. तो it became more sweet. Frogs at school. How many froggies are there in the story? 20. Where did the froggies go? To the market, to their halls, to school, to now here. To school. Where is their school? Down beside a rushy pool. Very good. How many cots did they have? They have 20 cots because there are 20 froggies in the story, in the poem. Sorry, in the poem. So they need 20 cots. What was the color of their coats?
Green.
What was the color of their vest?
White.
White. What do they do first?
Study.
First they study. What do they do next?
Play.
Next, after study, they go for play. What? Sorry, Ragola. How many vests did they have? 20. 20 coat means 20. They need 20 vests. How are their vests? What is the color of their vests?
White.
White. Clouds. Clouds chapter ରୁ ଗତଥର ବେଶୀ question ପ୍ରାୟ ଆସିଥିଲା. The poem is about clouds. When the winds stop, clouds stand still. Ba stop. Hela. When winds blow, clouds run away. What is compared to the blue hill? The sky is compared to the blue hill. The blue. What is compared to the white sheep? The clouds are compared to the white sheep. What is the poem about? The poem is about clouds. Where are the white sheep? Above in the sky, on a blue hill, over the green forest, everywhere. On a blue hill. When winds blow, what happens to the clouds? They stand still, they sail over the blue hill, they sit on the blue hill, nothing will happen. When winds blow, what happens to the clouds? They sail over the blue hill. Who does you stand in the poem? Who does you stand in the poem? Clouds. You means for clouds, the blue hill, for winds, for green forest. For clouds. The poem is about clouds. So here I is used for clouds. Moon. The moon runs a race with clouds who sometimes disappear. Moon sometimes disappear. The moon. Who wish the moon to win the race? The child wish the moon to win the race. What is the poem about? The poem is about the moon. Sometimes the moon looks like a white cake. Not only cake. White cake. White round. Right. White round cake. Ready? Option. The cake अच्छी white cake अच्छी round cake अच्छी full round white cake अच्छी कौन हम ऑप्शन गुड़ा सब जाक लिंक अच्छी आमे खाली आमे सी को गलेनी बी देखी कह देथिले white cake. What is really fun? The sun and the moon rarely meet. The sun and the moon never meet. The sun and moon always meet. None of this.
The sun and
Moon rarely meet. What is strange? The sun and the moon appears simultaneously. The sun appears but the moon does not appear. When the moon appears, the sun disappears. All of this. तापरे which lines of the poem are repeated? The first two lines era dorkar nai, no need. Who is I in the poem? The moon. Not the child. The child. Not the poet. Child of Agatha. The first three lines are repeated for how many times? Dorkar nai. द लॉन्गेस्ट स्टोरी रो दुईटा पार्ट अछि गोटे झियो गप सुनिया पाई भल पाउथला गोटे रो आउट कोन ना गोटे राजा गप सुनिया पाई भल पाउथला गोटे कहया पाई भल पाउथले परा ना कोन द किंग लव टू tell stories where there were how many storytellers are there? There are 4 storytellers, 3 failed and 1 success. The last storyteller was a handsome young man from a distant country, a not so handsome poor young man from a village, a handsome rich young man. See, the last storyteller's story lasted for half an hour. Last storyteller means the handsome, not so handsome young poor man who married the daughter of the king. The king guessed the story would
never
come to an end. Now please his daughter, please him, never end. Never end. और जेतले से कहि साला सेतले को से भाबला जे तार गप्पा केबे शेष हबो नाही मात्र जेतले फास्ट आस्तिला सेतले कोन समस्त भाबी दिले दे थॉट द स्टोरी कम टू एंड ना lasted for half an hour. The young happy go lucky aunt was fond of singing and dancing where from the storytelling experts come far off places. What did the young aunt see one day? Barn full of grains. Option D. The poor young man was expert in storytelling, not an expert in storytelling, unknown of storytelling, not so expert in storytelling. D. से जानत लाइन तो उड़े खाली पढ़े आसला ना First young man's story lasted for 3 days and 3 nights. Second storyteller's story lasted for 5 days and 5 nights. The third storyteller's story lasted for 6 days and 6 nights. What happened to 3 storytellers? They became king's servant. Rest of his life. Option 9. Where did the young aunt go to borrow some food? To a young man, to a grasshopper, to an old aunt, to a white aunt. To an old aunt. What did the king do finally? Man to his daughter in marriage. এটা তো why the old aunt did not give food to the young aunt? Because he was a miser. What did the king love to do? The second, the king who loved stories. What did the king love to do? Listen to stories. When did he love to listen stories? In the morning, in the afternoon, at noon, always. Always. Listening to stories almost became a hobby for him, a disease with him, an entertainment for him, a amusement for him. Disease. Disease. Entertainment ना disease ହେଇଥିଲା ସେଥିପାଇଁ ତ ସିଏ ପାଗଳ ହେଇଗଲା ନା ସିଏ ଯେତେବେଳେ ବି ବାଥିଂ ଟାଇମ୍ ରେ କି ଶୋଇବା ଟାଇମ୍ ରେ ବି ସେ ଗପ ନ ଶୁଣିଲେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଭଲ ଲାଗୁନଥିଲା ସେ ସେତେବେଳେ ବି ଭାବୁଥିଲେ ଯେ ମତେ ଜଣେ କିଏ ଗପ କହୁ ହେଲା so it became disease for him. How many storytellers did the king appoint to tell him stories? କେତେ ଜଣ storyteller କୁ ସେ ରଖିଥିଲେ 100 of storytellers, 100 storytellers, hundreds of storytellers, 50 storytellers, 20 storytellers, hundreds of माने शताधिक माने 100 रु अधिक खाली 100 रहले ऑप्शन सी 100. What did not the king like? Ending of the story, beginning of the story, gap between two stories, very short stories. See, gap between two stories माने गोटे गप शेष होतिला एंड आ गोटे गप आरंभ होतिला ता भितर जो टाइम टा रहउतला सेही टाइम टा से किछि सुनिया पाउ नथले सेही टाइम टा तांको बोरिंग लागुतला भल लागु नथला. He did not like this. What did the king promise to give first? Half of his kingdom. Once there was a great famine, grand feast, severe storm, grand show. माने famine means दुर्भिक्ष बरा drought. How many storytellers came to tell stories? Hundreds of storytellers. Option D. The poet in this poem seems to be active, busy, sleepy, lazy. Sleepy. ସେଥିପାଇଁ ତ ତା ମଦର ଡାକୁଥିଲେ ନା. The birds are singing in the tree. Who are buzzing? The bees are buzzing. The poet talks about horses and crows, crows and dogs, sheep and dogs, horses, dogs, crows and sheep. D. The day is boring, windy, lovely. Everyone is up and about in the bed, playing and happy. Up and about. It's too late, too much late to lie in bed. How many stanzas are there in the poem? No need. How many lines are there in the first two stanzas? How many lines are there? 6 lines. এটা টিকে গীত গুড়া টিকে ভালসে দেখি দউথু হলা পোয়েম গুড়া. How many lines are there in the third stanza? গীত পোয়েম গুড়া ভালসে ন দেখলে ওটা সব কইবা কষ্ট. How many time the word wake up is repeated? 11 number. 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, 5 time. कितना? 5 times. Who are singing? The birds are singing. Who is the sleepyhead? The child who feels drowsy, the child who is idly, the child who lies in bed, the child who wake up. See, the child who lies in bed, he was sleepyhead. A day for you. What is important? Start your day with a smile. Where should we look for a while? Outside of the window. Where were the birds? Flying in the sky. How पढ़ो. Last. How is the blue sky? Windy, cloud, dark, clear. Why should one fess up a bit for today?
For a nice day.
As it is a nice day. A mug for Mahatma. Pencil.